Aggressive hero in the world in terms of getting really good value out of the fire spirits for this game, since the only person that's really a big auto-attacking hero for Hot6 is the Bloodseeker. But you say that, there's not very many big auto-attacking heroes, and that does mean that the Supernova all of a sudden looks like a much more valuable ability. And comboing that with the Earthshaker and the Spirit Breaker, they should be able to get some pretty big AoE wombo combos going on here.
Yeah, I like the Phoenix pickup. It's pretty smart.
Yeah.
The Lina is okay against the Egg with the range and the attack speed buff,
yeah.
but that's really the only thing that's that great. Bloodseeker doesn't mind as much running in and trying to do it, and they just don't really care about getting a hero that does well against the Egg. They feel confident in their ability to burst it down with their 3 ranged heroes, and they'll go for a Clockwork.
All right, so it's early game for Hot6. Clockwork is guaranteed to be 3. I think Pugna is 1. Bloodseeker is 2. And that leaves Zeus and Lina
Pugna
as your
tri-lane.
supports.
Well,
I mean, you can decrepify somebody and nuke the bejeebus out of them.
This is true.
that's definitely one thing that can happen.
And Decrep LSA isn't the worst setup in the world.
Yeah, definitely not. As TNC, okay, that's somewhat I think of their late game trump card here,
yes,
as they go for the Phantom Lancer. So if this game drags on a little bit, I think things are looking all right for TNC. It's just a question of if they can hold the line where MVP Hot6 were unable to in the previous game.
I think it's kind of like what we were talking about before, where the drafts kind of go and one team kind of pulls out a trump card going, no, we're the early game team. And the other team just kind of has to go, okay, you win. We're going to focus on something else. And that's kind of what this Phantom Lancer pick feels like to me. It's still not a hyper late game carry, not like he used to be, but he's still much more of a power in the mid to late game than going for a lot of other one positions that we've seen out of
He's not the
TNC.
split pushing hero that he used to be either, but MVP Hot6's lineup is garbage at dealing with split push. So I feel if the Phantom Lancer gets online, then MVP Hot6 are definitely in some trouble.
They can also deal with illusions. Okay, not great.
Yeah, they're all right.
Netherblast isn't great against illusions, but some stuff like Dragon Slave is okay at clearing them out.
Yeah, this is definitely a game where I think you look at
oh, Heen, is he doing? Is he rocking the B? Oh, he's rocking the BZZ set.
Of course you're rocking the BZZ set. Everybody needs this on Pugna, but I think everybody has it.
I think everyone has it, exactly.
But yeah, I think this is definitely a game where you're probably looking at a Mjolnir as a potential item for the Bloodseeker if things start to drag on a little bit to help deal with the Phantom Lancer. But again, it's so much of this is about the early game. I don't even want to speculate about what's going to be happening at 20 minutes into this game, because there could be all kinds of chaos. Let's get things underway. TNC making an aggressive move down towards bottom lane at the moment. We've got Noji on the Spirit Breaker, 7 on the Earthshaker, AU on the Phoenix, Sam H on the Queen of Pain, and Tihi on the Phantom Lancer. Let's see if we can get a repeat performance out of him, since the Bloodseeker was so impressive in Game 1. Meanwhile, for MVP, Sunbi is going to be on your offlane Clockwork. We've got MP as the Zeus, so it's actually going to be your 2-position Zeus. Heen is your Pugna, Sephora of the Bloodseeker, and we've got Jerax as the Lina. So it is actually a 4-position Pugna.
It is your medic Pugna. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of that.
Okay, so that does seem to be the plan. This Bloodseeker is going to be buffed up. He's going to be the heavy. Pugna's the medic, and we'll see if.
Or is this more like a scout play?
Yeah, I think Bloodseeker is actually a little bit more comparable to.
I mean, that was kind of a strat in TF2, right? Wouldn't you? You would heal up the scout sometimes and let him run in Ubered.
You'd have to ask my brother instead. He's the TF2 guy.
I'm not actually sure.
But anyway, so Phantom Lancer's here on the mid lane against Zeus. I don't anticipate this being the most amazing matchup in the world for Tihi, but he can get a bottle, he can spam some Spirit Lands.
Speaking of that bottle, AU's going in, positioning himself, the Phoenix in the mid lane. He wants to get this courier really early.
I mean, they see the build from Zeus. They know that it's going to be a straight bottle rush from him.
We'll see if he gets it.
And one of the most predictable heroes as well. There's almost no other build that you go for. I think I've occasionally seen Bada, say, going for a Null Talisman build against a Shadow Fiend.
And they're being smart about it too, keeping it by this tier 2 tower.
Like, where the hell is this Phoenix? Nobody's seen him yet. We can see 4 heroes. Where's the 5th guy?
I think that's the idea.
Yeah. So I think MP might just walk back to the tower and go and grab it himself. Yeah, looks like that might be the plan. So he's already pushed out the mid lane. He spammed at his remaining few Arc Lightnings. And he's going to come back and retrieve it. The Phoenix is going for it anyway. What is going on here? Hey, you. Okay. He's going to dive himself away, and he's going to be all right. It looks like he will be forced to use his salve, but really smart play from MP, not going to let his bottle get sniped there.
And it's not as bad, not as far of a way to go for a little Baco to bring it back out to him. Well, you know what's funny to me is that in the 2 games that we've seen so far, in the 2 games I have seen from Hot6, Jarex is playing his 2 standard Q-pad heroes. In the Nyx support and the Lina. Yeah. Oh, the Q-pad Red Pandas, what a team.
And his Lesh. Wasn't the running joke that he played like 80% Leshrac at one point?
He played a lot of Leshrac, a lot of Nyx, because I think the joke was that he kind of had a tendency to miss his stuns with Lesh.
Occasionally, yeah.
It really was not that bad.
Charge on mid lane. MP in a lot of trouble. There's 4 heroes here. AU goes in for the courier again this time around. He gets it. And they're still looking for this first blood. A few more Arc Lightnings come out, but the Fisher comes in, cuts off the Zeus escape.
With 4 heroes in 2 minutes.
They are putting so much hate on MP in both Game 1 and Game 2 here.
They're going in again. They're going to get Heen.
Oh, no. And there's another TP coming in this time around. It's the Bloodseeker,
and he has
but it
to
gets
cancel.
canceled. Oh, no.
Oh.
It was like, oh, is it worth 4 heroes to get 1 kill? Is it worth 4 heroes to get 2 kills and a TP? Yes. Very yes.
Oh, no. This is almost demoralizing.
That's a pretty big disaster.
The courier dies.
Oh, and I didn't even mention the courier.
Oh.
What a start for TNC. I love that the Phoenix is the one who gets the 2 auto attacks off on the courier and gets his revenge ultimately. Fortunately, MP does have his bottle, so at least that didn't die as well. Phoenix is going to come running in bottom lane and just manages to dodge out of the way of that light spectre.
Phoenix already has Tranquil Boots. 3 minutes in.
He's still only level 1.
Love and life.
He already has his Tranquil Boots up. All right. At the very least, MVP are getting some pretty good farm in their Bloodseeker, so that's looking good for Forev. And Clockwork, how's he doing in the offlane? Actually, almost level 5, so he's getting a fantastic start on Sunbeam.
Yes. I'm really interested to see how Heen is going to play this. My buddy Dakota Coddle guy, he loves him some support Pugna. Another guy that I used to stack with a lot loves his support Pugna. I never thought it would be something we'd see. So it's interesting to see what his build is, what items he goes for.
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to Lampercat's roaming Pugna.
Does he go oof?
I think so. I think he gets boots, but Forev getting jumped bottom lane. These charges from the Spirit Breaker finds another kill, and TNC off to an amazing start. 3-0 thus far, and they're looking to make it a 4th as Sunbeam top lane gets blocked out. Samage needs another scream. He's still hiding in the fog right now. So I think that he's going to pop cogs, but he doesn't actually have it. It's a 2-0-3 build from your Clockwork, and it looks like it's just going to be a few more auto attacks. Blink and a scream to finish him off. I find the no cog build a little bit strange from your Clock, but he got such an easy start in the offlane that he didn't really need to manipulate creeps.
Right.
So I think that was all right. Spirit Breaker ends up just stopping at mid lane. That's the end of his journey. As He gets bolted down a little bit more, but he's doing really well on farm, 24 and 3. He actually bought a full magic wand right from level 1, so he knew exactly what this lane matchup was going to end up being on mid lane.
Yeah, because they knew they were going to put a lot of hate mid, and that's going to force MP in a position where he's going to have to chain lightning the last hit.
Yeah, I mean, that's all he can do right now. He can sit on his hill, bottle curl a little bit, and spam some arc lightning to get some farm. And He's coming in. That's going to get 2 TPs out, and he might even escape here. Oh, no way. MVP. That just hurts.
A lot of waste resources there.
And
those are TPs they're not going to have the next time TNC goes for more of these crazy dives.
And they're going to use that opportunity to charge down bot. Heen's got the Nether Ward down, but the Spirit Breaker just does not care. Dive through from the Phoenix. Forev trying to lay in with some auto attacks, but Pugna is just going to end up burning down. Spirit Breaker starts off the man fight against the Bloodseeker, but looks like this isn't one he's going to win. Does manage to get the charge off, and on 25 HP, he's escaping away. Roshan almost finished him off.
Get out of here! This is my house.
Okay, just die to the.
Just die to the neutral.
Yeah, just
buy out.
Buy something.
Buy some. Buy some.
Buy a TP scroll.
Yeah, he bought a. Okay.
Okay, he lost some gold there, but anyway.
Not the most efficient, but.
No experience or anything going to MVP.
Exactly.
So
it's by no means the worst.
Yeah, but did lose 119 gold from that suicide. But call it 5-0 for TNC thus far. And I want to go back to the point about talking about those TPs mid lane, because those TPs mid don't happen unless TNC went for the earlier play,
exactly,
which was the 4-man dive.
Yeah, and we see Clockwork going down.
Yeah, Clockwork dives top, but there's already a charge going on mid lane. I don't know if there are enough TPs available for MP this time around. Charge coming in. He's a little bit further away, but he comes straight in with the dive. The bolt cancels the charge, importantly. And MP is going to end up saving himself here. Does not require the assistance of the team this time around.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for running Pugna in a support role here is he's just so squishy. Yeah. I think he actually has the lowest strength gain in the game, tied with Enchantress. So
yeah, 1.2, definitely not that impressive.
No, and you start off with very little. Very little.
And now Spirit Breaker waiting over the trees, ready to charge in. Do they have somebody to TP? That would be the big question. Queen of Pain, TP on cooldown for a little bit longer. 2 seconds to go. But here comes the charge. The other one is already down. They need to be cautious of that. Nice Light Striker Ray catches the Spirit Breaker. They pop the Thunder God's Wrath as well, but the SP is just so tanky for Ev. Last Auto Tech goes chasing after the Phoenix and is going to finish him off behind the tower. Sam H came blinking in aggressively, and he's going to pay for that. 4 heroes waiting from MVP. Hookshot also comes flying in from Sunbee. Seven going to try and drop the Fisher, but it's canceled by the battery assault. 4Ev is still pretty fast. They can't afford to lose too much more health, or he's going to be pretty unstoppable. But looks like it's just going to end up being those 2 kills. Spirit Breaker barely limping his way back to the fountain. I don't think there's going to be another Rocket Flare in time to kill him off.
It looks like MVP stabilizing a bit here. That was a good fight there.
Looking for the solo kill here on mid lane. Doppelganger goes in. Light Striker catches all the illusions, but not the main hero. If Teehee was feeling bold, I think he could have looked for the additional kill there, but MVP are all actually rotating right over to mid lane right now. And 4F comes running in. He's about to reach level 6 off of these creeps, but there's a charge. And it's actually Teehee who's looking for this kill. Needs 1 more lance. Stick charges are going to be enough mana. He actually has the vision off of the charge, but looks like 4F able to retreat and ends up somewhat regretting his decision to put the Blood Rage on before he goes charging in on mid lane.
Indeed.
Okay, so MVP get a couple of kills. They get that tower. They bring back the net worth differential to about 1K from what was a 3K lead in TNC's favor. About the same story on your experience. They brought it back from about 1,500 to about 1K at the moment. And
Clockwork with a history in top lane, but I don't think he's going to be doing much with it.
Yeah, it's just kind of running around in circles at the moment. They do have MP rotating over, so it looks like they're going to try for something, but Queen of Pain not the easiest gank in the world with just these 2 heroes. First Rupture gets used bottom lane, but easy TP scroll out from AU, so it looks like he's going to be just fine.
AU. That reminds me of the NASA MMO game video.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And Sunbee, oh, he's going to get blown up by the Scream of Pain.
Yeah, Sonic Wave, the charge actually gets MP as it switches over to the creep there. And MVP, that has got to be the... I'm just trying to think of like total number of TPs invested this game that have done nothing for them. And I feel like we're almost about to reach double digits.
Yes.
And that... You know, TP scrolls are cheap, but when you're investing that many of them and you're switching your lanes up as well and the other team isn't moving,
when you're a Pugna and Alina support, like these are both heroes that need items. Pugna support really needs items, and if he's having to keep spinning these TP scrolls, he's just not getting them.
And MVP looks like sick of the shenanigans, sick of the Spirit Breaker charges. They're just going to bring 4 heroes here to mid lane and start working away at this tower. They've put the Blood Rage on the Pugna so that the blast does more damage to the tower. That's a cute synergy, and it's definitely working out here as they keep on working in. Teehee, we're going to throw out a few Spirit Lances to slow things down somewhat, and in comes the TNC defense. Oh my god, the Phoenix goes diving into a Light Striker Ray, gets blown up immediately. The Cogs pushing him back as well. Now the Phantom Lancer in some trouble, going to pull Doppelganger a little bit further away, but he's still ruptured, forced to man fight 4Ev, but he's going to end up going down, and MVP looks like finally grouping up is going to work out for them as they take the tier 1 tower.
That was really sloppy from TNC. The Phoenix going right into the Cogs, getting knocked by back by the Cogs, getting hit by the LSA.
Yeah.
It was just too much. And then Teehee, he gets ruptured immediately, decides to, you know, try to doppelganger out of it.
They didn't even have Sonic Wave available for that fight.
Exactly.
It's strange. I think TNC might still be in the mentality of the previous game somewhat, because from my perspective, they're the team that should just be, it's bend but not break, right? They should defend the important towers, choose their fights, look for their pickoffs, and just hope that the Phantom Lancer, once he gets online, is going to be the big answer this game. But they're just taking every single fight.
Yeah, but instead TNC's the one with the poor supports, and MVP's the one catching up in terms of net worth. So
yeah. And we've got the Zeus, despite a pretty rough early game, is not too far behind the Phantom Lancer at the moment. And it looks like this time around, as the push comes in for the Tier 1 top lane, TNC are not going to try and defend.
And wisely so.
Yeah,
they're going to either counter push bottom or...
Yeah, and they're getting, I mean, they're getting split push done on the mid lane, so Queen of Pain's getting damage there. And it looks like they should be able to grab this Tier 1 bot, potentially, depending on how many mass DPs MVP want to throw at it. But they've revealed
on the side of MVP, but
yeah,
I don't think they're going to be going for this.
Yeah, Bloodseeker just TP'd mid, but MVP
got a smoke.
3-man smoke. If TNC, I don't know if they scouted the Bloodseeker mid lane, so they're probably still thinking that there might be some kind of a defense here, but everyone's staying grouped up. They really want this Tier 1 tower. Glyph's already been used for more auto attacks to finish this one off. As Zeus comes TPing in, big damage onto the Phantom Lancer, getting ruptured as well, bottling in place. Manages to pop the Doppelganger as well, a little bit further away. Gonna try and TP out, 2 auto attacks. Is all that Forev would have needed, but the bolt finishes him off anyway. Phoenix drops the Supernova, and then forced to try and dive and retreat, but he eats the Laguna Blade, and that's gonna knock up the thirst for Forev as he gets another kill there. Running through. That's 3 for nothing. They do get the Tier 1 tower end of the day, but MVP tied things up 8-8 on the kill score.
And he's split pushing top. He's bullying back the Quap here. Not something you expect to see out of the support Pugna.
What do you know? Ian making things work. He's out of mana now, so he's just going to be heading back to base. But
got a lot of chip damage on that Tier 2 tower at top.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to swing back to a 0 experience difference at the moment, moving over towards the MVP side. And the first substantial net worth lead that they've had this game at about 1.5k. But TNC not done. They're just going to keep on fighting. Charge coming in from the Spirit Breaker, but he's going to get bolted. Fisher does cancel Jerax's TP.
But they're still going to back off. So.
Okay, but they're backing off. But that's TNC bringing all 5 bot. MVP do at least have the Clockwork making his way over to mid. He has just completed his Blade Mail. So no big item coming up. Well, no new item coming up for him. At least for quite a while. In terms of your Bloodseeker's build-up, looks like he's just going for a straight-up BKB. And we've got a Spirit Breaker hiding in the trees bottom lane. I don't know quite what he's... Oh, was he stuck? He's not hiding, he's stuck. Yeah, okay, never mind.
Stuck. Either it got canceled or he tried to cancel it at the wrong time. Or the right time, maybe he wanted to hide there. Who knows?
Yeah, could be. I mean, he definitely wants level 6, so probably going to go take a little detour via camp or... down the bottom lane, but needs some vision on something so he can charge on that in there. Okay, so there you go. He's all right. He's getting some push done there. MVP have done a fantastic job, actually, of putting some wards over in the Dire Jungle and keeping an eye on things right now. Also in somewhat non-obvious locations. I feel like this ward over here, in particular, pretty unlikely to get dewarded as they just start moving in towards this Tier 2 on the mid lane. MP getting blood raged up on his Zeus.
Unfortunate for TNC, 7 is not quite level 6 yet. He only needs, I think, 1 more creep kill to get up to level 6.
Oh yeah, not quite. No Echo Slam just yet in this Earthshaker, but the blood raged Pugna Blasts keep on raining down, and these towers continue to get chipped away at. Phoenix looking for something off to the side. Needs to be careful. Jarek's going to land the stun, preventing the dive, and gets the solo kill. Hookshot flies in a little bit late from somebody. He thought the Lena was going to need some help.
This Phoenix is just getting blown up in every single fight that I'm seeing.
Yep. And Spirit Breaker, okay, manages to get the charge away. That hook being on cooldown will be his saving grace as he starts charging over towards top lane. Tier 2 does end up going down mid, and MVP going to back off and hold on to their Tier 2 down bottom, which is still quite healthy. And we've now got a BKB up for the Bloodseeker. So that bend but not break strategy from TNC is now starting to look a little bit more difficult. They do have good farm on the Queen of Pain and the Phantom Lancer, which is now starting to translate into actual items. The Queen of Pain is getting somewhat close to Orchid, needs about another 1k. And the Phantom Lancer still yet to start picking up the Fusel Blade components.
I think he's going for Drum with the Bracer. Unless he just wanted the casual Bracer.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be a casual Bracer. The overwhelming trend, in China at least, for Phantom Lancer builds was Treads, Aquila, Drum, and Wand, and then straight into the Fusel Blade Heart. I feel like it was a build that, I don't want to say necessarily that Hao pioneered it, but I'm going to accredit it to him because he was the one that I really first started seeing using Phantom Lancer in professional Dota, in professional Dota in China at the very least.
Post-rework, yeah.
And that was the build that he was using. I know that we've seen pros in the West playing it, like, hold that thought for a second, because Seven's getting jumped here, and it's Earthshaker versus Clockwork. We all know how this is going to go.
Man, that's one of those sad cast points where you just do the dance of death.
I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you. Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, it just goes down.
Just not going to happen. But we did see, we've seen a little bit of pro Phantom Lancer play in the Western scene as well. Tends to be a little bit more greedy from players like Eternal Envy and Banana Slam Jamma. But this does seem to be the overwhelming Phantom Lancer build that we see over here. But, well, MVP, it's time to actually start chipping away at the high ground somewhat, it would seem. 16 minutes in here, and the Nether Blasts keep on raining down. Those Fire Spirits not really going to do too much to slow them, as TNC just going to keep on spamming and trying to hold on. They've got their Queen of Pain pushing out bottom lane. Phantom Lancer arrives back a little bit late to the party, but he's going to start pushing out mid lane with his illusions. And this is the best reply that TNC have to what MVP are doing right now. They're not really in a position to take a full 5-on-5 fight. They don't have a true Blink Dagger initiator just yet because the Earthshaker is still quite poor, and they can't charge in with the Spirit Breaker necessarily. So I feel like Split Push is the way to go, but somebody's going to go jumping in, and he's going to be the one to initiate things for them. Jump comes in. They've got the Rupture over into Tiki. They will use the Supernova to open up some space, but Forev goes running in with his BKB active. Sonic Wave turns it around, though, and they've brought down the Bloodseeker. Can TNC find anything else? The Nether Ward is still a little bit of a nuisance, so they're going to stop off for that one before they continue their pursuit. SamH not going to end up landing that Scream as he goes blinking forward into the Blade Mail of the Clockwork. MVP quite low, but Jerax will be healed up somewhat by Heen as they look for the TP out, but looks like the Lina will still end up falling. And as the Lina falls, the charge gets redirected over towards MP. Eats the Urn charge, has been silenced up. Another Fissure comes in, and a final bash for style points from Noji as they do end up winning that fight pretty handedly. Bloodseeker thought he was immortal with the BKB active, but Queen of Pain showed him exactly how wrong he was.
That pure damage, man.
It hurts. There was a buyback out of the Spirit Breaker in that fight, so it was a 3-for-2 with a buyback, but TNC hold on to the high ground, and I think as we've driven the point home in this game that they're the team that just needs to hold out, and they should be able to win if it drags
he's getting
on.
charged down, and is T going to still go after this?
Yeah, Tier 1's still here. I think it's too close to the tower. All right, so
T's got to be careful here. He might try to go for a hook shot from Sunby.
Yeah, I got some vision. The Rupture comes out. He can doppel up under the high ground. He's going to put himself in position for that. Wait for the cooldown. Hookshot completely whiffs there. Is going to be able to sidestep the Blood Rite as well. Noji might be in a bit of trouble here. Looks for the charge. Bounces them back. Gets one outside of the cogs. Thundergod's Wrath comes in as well. And they will find that kill. Phoenix also comes in out of nowhere and is going to be a random death.
Just dies again.
But SamH will be able to blink away. And looks like he's going to be all right. So MVP pick up 2 more kills. And looks like they're going to try and put themselves in position to keep on sieging, but nicely played by Tihi. He's already made his way over, and he's intercepting this next creep wave to prevent the push. Though looks like MVP still have a couple of creeps here, and they're still going to try for it. Glyph is available for TNC, and the Fissure is going to close the door somewhat, but creeps are already inside the base. And the Blood Rage Pugna is going to go to work. Should only be one more blast to finish off the Tier 3. There's a jump forward for SamH, but it's right into everyone.
The Nether
and he gets
Ward
blown up. There's no Sonic Wave. Not respecting the Nether Ward nearly enough. Another Fissure comes in, but there's no buyback available for this Queen of Pain. They're going to have to stall as best they can. The Supernova comes out, did manage to land a couple of good Fire Spirits. They've already lost the Pugna. MP turns around, laying into the Phantom Lancer, but he doppelgangers forward, and he's got his Diffusal Blade up now. Sunby tries to turn and fight with his Blade Mail, but gets stunned up once again by the Fissure. Bloodseeker just turns tail and runs away. He's fast. 663 move speed right now. But even with BKB available, no interest from Forev in trying to take that fight.
I mean, I think MVP has a really difficult time high grounding here.
Yeah.
I mean, their main way to breach is just to throw Pugna Blasts.
Yeah,
and
they don't have the sustain that TNC had in the previous game.
He's got a mech and an urn, and that's it. The hero has no health. They have nothing like a Glimmer Cape to put on him. He's nowhere close to a BKB. They're just in a situation where their only high ground option is a guy who's built out of paper.
Yeah, that's definitely tough. Nobody else can even go and do anything to the high ground at all.
Because they'll just die.
Useless.
They'll get fissured in.
Yeah, Bloodseeker not tanky enough. We were talking about the Medic Pugna kind of being the line of play, and he's got the items for it, but the Bloodseeker isn't big enough to be able to go and hit the buildings by himself. I mean, we saw Tihi get absolutely out of control last game on the Bloodseeker, and well, Forev is definitely quite a bit smaller this game.
Indeed. They'll catch out some Phantom Lancer illusions, but clear those out relatively fast.
Ooh,
Great doppelganger dodge of the hook shot.
I don't think he was even planning on dodging
No,
the
I think he was just trying to dodge the blood right.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to get onto the low ground, full stop. But, well, that's hook shot on cooldown, and that's going to make holding this high ground even easier for TNC, in fact, since that's the primary form of initiation. And I mean,
Hot6, their only real option is to fight here, but
Sam H comes in, he in some trouble. Sam H getting burst, needs to be careful. He's ruptured, he's going to get brought down. Netherwood doing good work here. 2 down already, actually. It's the Spirit Breaker on the retreat out this time around. Forev actually part of this fight. Buyback comes out of the Queen of Pain as they start working on the buildings here. MP's quite low on mana. I don't know how long MVP want to stick around. Fisher is not the best. Not going to really keep MVP trapped inside of the base here. As Sam H comes pushing forward. Pugna's still in the ground for 10 seconds, so no Netherward to be afraid of. But there is a double Force Staff now on MVP to try and disengage against the Fisher, so it is a little bit less scary overall. 7 comes running in. Sam H looking for the combo. Zeus looks like he's going to be brought down by the Soul Burn. Got another jump in, but Sunby not really finding anything with the hookshot there, as the illusions proving to be a big problem. Gets his blade mail off, and will keep on running. Buying up a TP scroll just in case he ends up going down here. And with the Spirit Breaker charge, I think that's pretty much guaranteed. Another Orchid from Sam H. And it looks like does end up getting pretty good value out of his buyback.
Range barracks, is it going to go down to the... Oh yeah, I think that last hit's going to kill it off.
Should have denied it. It's worth it now.
It's worth a lot now, yeah. It's
worth a lot of gold.
And because it was going to get that, you could tell you weren't going to be able to kill it before it was going to get its last shot off.
He could have bashed the catapult.
This is true.
There's always that 17%.
Does it push back the mechanical units as well?
Yep. I'm pretty sure.
You know, I've always wanted to do a strat where you buffed your own catapult.
Where you
tether.
Whenever I play Ogre, I definitely bloodlust my catapult.
Yeah, you bloodlust it.
Alacrity.
You can alacrity it. You can tether and overcharge it. You can several other things you can put onto it.
So it's all of the Year Beast strats, but applied to catapults.
But to put it on the catapult, correct.
All right.
Lots of fun.
And then you've got the open wounds to help keep it alive. You know.
Nothing like a catapult life stealing for an insane amount. Just seeing a catapult with max attack speed.
Yeah.
It's just not even, doesn't even make sense because there's no way you could reload that fast. Not to mention there's no one there to reload it. Like there's already that issue.
Yeah, our catapults in this game are a little bit
Dota, where nothing makes sense.
Just Dota things. Anyway, so MVP, they've been rebuffed a couple of times now, trying to make their way over onto the high ground. Lead has dwindled, and we're actually now over in TNC territory by about 3K on experience, though net worth is still MVP's by about 2K, though again, I still feel that the clock is ticking. Another item for the Bloodseeker has made its way out, but it's just a Yasha for Forev, so nothing too crazy. The Sanj is going to be joining it soon in his inventory as it flies its way out on the courier. So he's getting there, but still far from the Bloodseeker that we saw in the previous game. And MVP are going to give up on that top lane for now. Well, not give up. I think just call it a day. They got the ranged racks. Not really worth investing a huge amount of time to go and get the melee back.
They're really going to have a difficulty high grinding until they get a couple more items on their supports as well.
Yeah, and they need to do a little bit of damage and back off and heal and sort of rinse, repeat, and that's where going for the melee bags can be a lot more difficult. Oh, this is scary. We've got an Earthshaker, Blink Dagger, smoked. Has not been revealed in the slightest, and is Queen of Pain BKB completed just yet? Not quite, but let's keep an eye on this Earthshaker because he's definitely the big playmaker. He might be able to one-shot Heat, honestly, if he's Blood Raged, even without too much else going on. But the Netherward is proving to be a little bit of a nuisance, and casting that Fisher means that he won't be able to blink in here. Sonic Wave goes out, but the mech counter-initiates nicely. Spirit Breaker looking for the Nether Strike, but he won't be able to get it off as MVP bouncing back. There is a buyback from your Phoenix. Supernova comes out, but that's just going to draw some auto attacks and will be brought down. The Phantom Lancer extremely low. Doppelganger up onto the high ground, but one last bolt from the Zeus finishes him off. And MVP looks like they found their opportunity to make their way into the base. Buyback from the PL now coming out, but Spirit Breaker and the Phoenix both unavailable. It's all on this Earthshaker. 7 lurking off to the side. They need to get rid of this Nether Ward. Decrepify is going to keep it alive a bit longer, as MVP might just take the tier 3 and call it quits. No, it's the fake back. Smoke comes in. Oh, what can they actually get done here? Sunbee's looping around from the side. Still about 15 seconds left on this hook shot. I think they were just hoping that TNC would come a little bit further outside of the base, but still holding on to hope. This smoke's still going to last a little bit longer and might be able to go for a hook, but TNC are going to have all 5 back very, very soon. And okay, lanes looks like getting pushed out a little bit too far. And MVP might have to call it a day. They are going to send Jerax over to top. He's got his Yule Scepter available. Going to combo the Spirit Breaker somewhat, though he is a pretty tanky beast.
Is he going to be able to get to him? One more.
Got him. Now, I'm actually surprised that he got it, especially with the cloak on the Spirit Breaker as well. Yeah. But easy solo kill there for Jerax. Rest of the team still just waiting over on the cliff here.
This is starting to look really bad for TNC, actually.
Yeah, they're running out of buildings, I think is the core point. I don't know why the Phoenix went for mine. They jump in, the Echo Slam onto MP, but he gets off the ultimate and Sunbee comes flying in with the hook shot. Once again, the Phantom Lance are going to get ruptured and focused down, unable to do anything. All of that mobility is for naught with the rupture on him, and that's a 4-for-1. TNC find the target that they were looking for initially, but taking a fight outside of their base proves disastrous, and MVP just look towards bottom lane.
Yeah.
And, oh, no buyback for 50 seconds on the Phantom Lancer. This could actually very well be game. Heen's a little bit low on mana. I think needs to... could have dropped some more items before popping his Arcane Boots, and I think should at least drop his Arcanes before he pops his wand charges here. That he needs to eke out as many blasts as he possibly can. They're going to get bottom lane. BKB picked up now for the Queen of Pain, and TNC do have some heroes back up soon. But still no Phantom Lancer for 30 seconds, though. Looks like with no mana on the Pugna, MVP are going to call it quits and take that second lane of racks. Still the melee barracks standing top lane, but we're getting towards the point where one more big teamfight win is going to be both the mid lane and top finished off.
I think this is the first time I've seen the double cloak build on a hero, on the Phoenix here.
Oh, I think he's regretting his Midas.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, Midas is really good on Phoenix just because it's very important to get to your level 16 egg, but...
Yeah, every level is such a big deal.
Yeah, it's huge for you, but in a game with the momentum like this, it really puts you in a rough position. And he's already died 9 times. He's kind of his team's initiation tool in some ways, and he's just getting blown up by Nether Blast, or Nether Ward, into the nukes that are coming out of MVP.
Yeah, I've got a couple of BKBs coming out now. The Queen of Pain going to be picking one up. She's the only one in the mix right now, net worth-wise. And definitely a lot of pressure on Sam H to drop some good ultimates. He is just about to reach level 16, so that rank 3 ult is going to be coming out soon. But yeah, there's a crazy amount of pressure on him to get things done. And there's now, speaking of BKBs, an Aghanim Scepter Laguna Blade over on the Lina.
Oh, great, more pure damage.
Yeah, more pure damage to
see, that's the unfortunate thing about this Phoenix. Getting the double cloak, and now
it doesn't help.
It doesn't help, and he just sold it. He bought it and then sold it just now. Like, he never even used it. He just wasted 225 gold.
All right, so,
or rather, 275 gold. Excuse me.
Looks like TNC are gonna try and jump this fight as aggressively as they can. Earthshaker, no smoke for him to lead this one off with the Blink Echo, but they're going to try and avoid the Nether Ward going down. BKB popped by Sam H. He's just focusing on it for now. He's going to be the one to tank the Rupture this time around, so there might be some space for the Phantom Lancer, but they've lost 3 already, and I don't think Teehee can do this all by himself. 4 down already, and TNC looks like they're going to fall.
They got
taste of their own medicine.
Yeah.
And it is going to end up being a 1-for-1 overall here as MVP end the game in 30 minutes. Not the fastest, especially given the kind of strategy that they were running, but they stuck to their guns and really ground out the win in the end with the Pugna.
Yeah, I think the Pugna was really the key here. Normally